Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Movie Social. We're your hosts, Ricky and Steph. Today, we are doing another episode in our series for our Black Excellence. Today, we're going to be doing Samuel L. Jackson and
Maya Rudolph.
All right, so Rick, before we actually get into it, if you're liking what we're doing here on the channel with our animes, games review, as well as animes and TV shows, don't forget to like, subscribe, tell a friend so they can tell a friend, and just become part of our Movie Social family. And without further ado, Rick, take it away.
All right, so for those that might not really know who Maya Rudolph is, you need to go find out and watch a lot of stuff. There's a lot out there that she's been in, from Bridesmaids, which was the first time I've actually seen her in something, which was a big success, to voicing characters in Big Mouth, SNL. Lately, she's been as Kamala Harris on SNL. She's even in Hubia Halloween, a new show on Netflix. She was in the Wine Country, another Netflix show, movie. She's been in quite a bit, and she's very funny. She was in Grown Ups 1 and 2. She's been in a lot of entertaining roles, and I don't think she really gets a lot of shine for what she does, especially for a lot of people in our own community that might not know who she is. And she's a great comedian, if you ask me. I would actually like to see her do a stand-up comedy at some point. Not saying she might do well, she might do bad, who knows. But I think she has the material where she could do stand-up comedy. And overall, she's done a phenomenal job, especially with Bridesmaids. Being the bride was hilarious. The way everything responded around her. And one of the most famous scenes from that movie would be when she was in her wedding dress trying it on, and they all were eating from this Mexican restaurant beforehand, and so everybody had to go to the bathroom, and the bathrooms in the wedding dress place was already all in use. You had somebody using the sink and somebody using the toilet already. She ran out into the street, tried to go across the street to another store, but only made it to the other curb and just had to go right there with the dress on and all that. It was hilarious.
Terrible. Just horrible.
Hilarious. But overall, though, she's a really great comedian. If you haven't seen anything that she's been in, definitely check those out. And definitely check out her as Kamala Harris on SNL. And so, Steph, I'm going to let you start off with Samuel Jackson.
Where do I honestly begin? Samuel L. has been in almost anything and everything that you can think of.
Mother.
Pulp Fiction. Snakes on a Plane. Tons of movies, man.
One of my all-time favorites, even though that don't get the respect and shine that
I think that I want to talk about his inspiring role. And his inspiring role was in Coach Carter. Man, oh man. I could watch Coach Carter almost.
I just recently watched it.
Anytime, any day. He's basically not. He makes very valid points that sports is just a window or door of opportunity. But in order to get to that door, you have to be smart and in your academics. And
it ain't gonna last forever.
No, not at all. And for him to play that role of Coach Carter, to not only care about them winning games, but also being smart students and getting good grades.
And doing above the minimum requirements that was required for them.
Because most coaches right now, not just in general, but most coaches, some are out there who just care about wins and losses. He was caring about their futures. As students, black students, black men, which at the end of the day, we're handed we're 10 steps behind already, just when you're born. So he just figured that, and especially like the community that they were living in and all that good stuff. And he wants to try to help them as much as possible. Coach Carter is one of the iconic movies that he's played in, and something that everyone enjoys.
Okay. Yeah, there's too many to pick. Exactly. Honestly, I could go with more recent roles he's been in, but I'm gonna go with Die Hard. Him playing Jesus.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
we're not gonna go there. Yet. We'll save that for 2 months from now. But no, his role in Die Hard really that made it be my favorite Die Hard just because of his character and the way he portrayed it. With the phone calls for the bomb and all that, and how he goes about his character's role, and we can't all forget his iconic line and everything he plays in. Mother, and I'm not gonna say the rest because we're still on YouTube here, and I'm not gonna bleep it out. But yeah, anytime he plays any role and I don't hear it, I'm like, when I hear him say something else, I'm like, yeah, he wanted to say it right then and there. Even as Nick Fury, I'm like, can we just get it once tomorrow? Just one time. Let him pop up on Deadpool one time and say the lines. But no, as a whole though, he's phenomenal.
This man is even in Alexa.
Yes. I mean, he's in a whole lot of things. Even has a docu-series on Epix right now. I believe it's about the slave route or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, he's got finally getting the Nick Fury show that's going to come out. I'm like, it's about time. He needed his own movie, his own origin story. I mean,
didn't he kind of get it though?
Not necessarily.
And Captain Marvel, he kind of to me.
That was her origin story. I mean, it was his origin story of his one eye. That's about it. But we didn't get the full origin stories or the full background enough for Nick Fury because it's another strong black role for the Marvel franchise. And
agreed.
Honestly, I could never picture anyone else playing Nick Fury other than Samuel L. Jackson because it's just the way his demeanor and the way he carries himself. Even when he was in the one role I hated him for, playing in Django Unchained, playing the house slave.
Wasn't he Steven?
Forget the name.
I believe it was Steven. Dear Lord, I think it was Steven.
But playing the house slave and the way he acted, I mean, it was a hated character, but he played it so well to make it a hated character. His facial expressions, the way he talked, what he did, he oversold the role, and I loved it.
Yeah, he did it. I swear, I think his name was Steven.
Yeah, and also a few of his other things, like Snake Moan. Definitely should check that out. A lot of people probably have not in recent years. He's phenomenal job. I mean, if I could give out a Lifetime Achievement Award right now, I would give it to Samuel. And it's still going on.
Didn't he tweet last night about Danny Green? That was hilarious.
I was waiting for him to actually say his iconic line in the tweet, but I guess it might have went too far for Twitter. I mean, he dropped the F-bomb.
I thought he did.
No, he just dropped the F-bomb.
He
didn't add the other part.
But we all knew what it meant.
Yeah, but overall though, he's one of the ones that has such an illustrious career. He's been in so much. I mean, it was to the point where you couldn't see a movie that he wasn't in, even as a cameo. Shaft. I mean,
that whole remake was pretty good. I liked that.
But see, Shaft, none of them was a remake. That's the thing.
Sure.
It was all continued on. You had the original Shaft, and then you had Samuel, and now they passing the torch to possibly the younger Shaft. We gotta see if they actually continue this. But yeah, Samuel definitely did a phenomenal job. Maya Rudolph definitely does a phenomenal job as well. What is your favorite movie or role or show
or line?
Yeah, that both Samuel or Maya Rudolph have been in or portrayed or said. Let us know in the comments below. And until next time,